those startup founders who has raised funds, I cannot define them only as a successful startup founder. Just saying my startup has an AI associated to it doesn't make sense. Investors are looking for fresh ideas, fresh solutions to the problems.
आज हमारे साथ है नम्रता सरपोतदार. She is from Arthayan, where daily some startups get funded.
Startup is going for a funding and they think, bas abhi I pitched him within next 5-10 minutes, they should fund me, they should give me money. No, it doesn't happen that way. People see to it such kind of shows and then think that everything can be happen in a minute. Even a father giving a money to his teenage son, today also thinks twice and asks 10 different questions why you need it. When you're at a very early stage of ideation MVP, don't rush for funding. We suggest please have your business model ready with you. That gives you a better idea, better clarity what you're going to achieve within next 3 years. You would be in a better position to convince your investors also. Probably you will achieve what you want to achieve. Now if somebody comes and they want to replicate a model of Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, then still what innovation you are bringing into that particular replicating model now will not work because there are already players into it. But then what new thing you're bringing?
So what are the early red flags you normally see in startups approaching to you?
Many a times what we've seen is
वेलकम एवरीवन. आज का एपिसोड थोड़ा अलग होने वाला है. हम लोग स्टार्टअप जर्नी में हमेशा सक्सेस स्टोरीज सुनते हैं. ये स्टार्टअप ने इतने फंडिंग उठाए, ये स्टार्टअप को इतना फंडिंग मिला, इसने इन्वेस्ट किया उसमें, उसके वैल्यूएशन बढ़ गया है, इतना वैल्यूएशन है, उतना है. लेकिन असली सवाल ये है कि एक्चुअली कितने स्टार्टअप्स फंडेबल होते हैं और इन्वेस्टर सच में क्या देखते हैं. आज हमारे साथ है नम्रता सरपोतदार. शी इज़ फ्रॉम अर्थायन. अर्थायन is a bridge between investors and founders, startups. She is a part of a team where daily some startups get funded. In this conversation, we'll not talk about only about surface level. We'll talk about how startups are evaluated, founders कहाँ गलती करते हैं, investors कैसे सोचते हैं, और सबसे important, क्या ट्रेडिशनल स्मॉल स्केल बिजनेस फंडेबल होता है. अगर आप फाउंडर है, बिजनेस ओनर है या फ्यूचर में फंड रेज करना चाहते हैं तो ये एपिसोड आपको क्लियर पिक्चर देगा कि ग्राउंड रियलिटी क्या है. सो लेट्स गेट ऑन टू इट. आगे बढ़ने से पहले लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा. थैंक यू. ओके, वेलकम नम्रता. टू स्टार्ट विथ, आउट ऑफ ऑल स्टार्टअप्स विच आर अप्रोचिंग टू यू, हाउ मेनी आर रियली फंडेबल?
Okay, nice question. So I would say it all depends on the stages and the idea which they have. So startup founders who generally come and pitch to us, we say when they have not started pitching, for me everybody is a fundable startup. But when we listen to their ideas, it depends whether they are fundable or not. Now I can divide this answer in two parts. So if they are at a very early stage, so we can define this stage as an ideation or MVP stage. So ideation is they have an idea related to it, and MVP is they've worked something on that particular idea. So those startups who are at this stage and they genuinely have some exclusivity and they're bringing some kind of product or service which is actually not available in the market, or probably there are very few players who are doing into it, or else they have some different USP, something uniqueness into it, and they are going to solve real life problems, then those startups at those stage are also fundable startups. So when we interact with startup founders, if we found such kind of startup founders, yes, those are fundable startups.
Okay. Is the company on which investors are investing or the person on which investors are?
Ideally, in a person initially, yes.
Okay.
The team, the founding team, it all depends upon the founding team, how strong the team is and how they would be executing the entire show of their business. So yes, the first answer is founding team.
Okay. What are the most common reasons founders fail at very first stage itself?
If you're not clear on your path, if you're not clear on your vision, and you're not sure how to execute what you want to achieve, then this is the stage where founders generally fail. It is not only you should focus only on marketing strategy. It is not only you should focus only on how to manage money, or rather everything should be collated everything should be planned, everything rather should put on a good paperwork should be done, and then execution should be done correctly. So most of the time execution startup founders fail, and we think every execution should have a proper roadmap to it.
Okay. So now I will come to your role into Arthain. So could you please tell what the Arthain is and what the current role you are
Sure.
carrying out in Arthain?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll first introduce what Arthan is. So Arthan is an ecosystem enabler, and we help startups into fundraising. And this probably would be a bit elaborated answer. I hope you're okay with it.
Yeah.
So Arthan is an ecosystem enabler, as I mentioned, and we help startups into fundraising. So we work in 3 different verticals. So one is Arthan as a growth advisory, where we help startups into fundraising, where we facilitate them startup investor connections. And from this now past 5 years of our journey, we have a pool of funds who are associated with us, say roughly this potential investors, I would say. This includes micro VCs, VCs, family offices. Second vertical is Arthan as an accelerator, where we closely work with different incubation centers, government authorities, nodal agencies. We help them to curate their acceleration program, cohorts, and demo days. And these are the 2 verticals. Both the verticals goes hand in hand. One extended edition is Startup Network Edition, what Arthan has. So in this, we do different networking meets, specifically in Mumbai, because our office is based in Mumbai, and we do have done networking meets in Pune as well. So in this particular networking meet, every networking meet has different agenda. So sometimes it's speed pitching, sometimes it's fireside chat. And here we invite managing partners of different VC funds who are in connection with us and whom we source deals to. And they come, interact with the startup founders. Sometimes it's like ask me anything sort of thing. So it's not like gyan type, because everybody wants to interact more with people rather than, taking just There's a lot of knowledge available right now into the market. So it's like you can come interact with the investor, ask your questions, ask your doubts, listen from them. So such kind of networking meets are there where you could meet like-minded people as well. Different startup founders can meet different startup founders, take their perspective. Somebody can find their co-founder as well into that particular networking meet. So it's all about how you take those networking meets. So that is one part. And then 2 years back, we just extended our arms and we came up with our own fund called Arthan Ventures. However, we are a syndicate fund, and our ticket size is somewhere between 5 CR to 10 CR. And till date, we have made 13 investments in different sectors.
Oh, great.
So this is about Arthan.
So how is your week typically with founders and investors?
Yeah.
How is your typical week?
A typical week is...
it is going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting when we interact with different startup founders from pan-India, say from north to south and from east to west. Every startup founder comes up with different idea, fresh minds, different age groups. When we see startup founders who are at the age of 50, 55, with a good experience into the industry and coming up with an idea, dealing with it's a different task. Analyzing their startups is we should have in different aspects to it. So that's also fun. And the young generation, the 21, 22, 25, these guys, when we talk with them, this is a different aspect. So it's interesting, it's actually, we get charged to it and we found different stories related to it. Yeah.
Currently, what is the average age of the startup founders?
It is between 25 to 45.
25 to 45.
Yeah.
And who are more successful?
What we have seen is, from my experience into this, the startup founder who has started his journey and doing his business consistently within years, or maybe within 2 to 3 years, but they're doing it very consistently. They're focused to their visions. Those startup founders are a successful startup founder. And those startup founders who has raised funds, I cannot define them only as a successful startup founders. Right. Those who have started their journey from scratch, had achieved a certain growth and now are at a profitable stage, I would say they are a successful startup founders.
Okay. So, can you explain your role, what kind of role you are currently playing in Arthain?
Sure, definitely. So, I have an association now with Arthan since almost 4 to 5 years, and I basically interact and evaluate startups at Arthan and investor relation at Arthan. So, we evaluate the startup, map appropriate potential investors for the startups, and help them into fundraising. And apart from that, we also evaluate in such a way, suppose we as a fund would also like to invest into startups. So we also evaluate from that perspective as well.
Okay. And what do you look into the startup at the first stage?
It depends upon the stage of the startup as well. So suppose it is a growth stage startup, it is an already funded startup, then it depends upon at what valuation they are raising funds, how established well they are into the market. We would be more interested into what their balance sheets or maybe the numbers are speaking, the financials are speaking. We would be more interested into that. However, if a startup at a growth stage, below growth stage or an early traction sort of stage, we would be interested into evaluating how their team is, what their vision is, what their idea is, what they are actually bringing into the on table as an idea. What is the differentiation to it? That is the main thing we would be interested, and we actually see to it in a startup.
So which are the founders and startups stand out immediately?
With a strong team and a good vision.
And what are the common mistakes founders do into the pitching?
Okay, so pitching, I would say majorly what we have seen when startup founder comes and pitch to an investor specifically, they very much many a times focus on the market size of it. Now when you're it's a good thing. I mean, you should know your market, but you don't need to highlight it too much, and you don't need to waste your time into the market size itself. बेसिकली आई वुड से आप क्या कर रहे हो और आप एग्जैक्टली ये क्या करना चाहते हो उस पे फोकस देना, रैदर देन वी आर टेलिंग इट कि इसका मार्केट साइज इतना बड़ा है. बिकॉज आप जो भी इन्वेस्टर को पिच कर रहे हो वो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक इन्वेस्टर है, उसे पता है कि एग्जैक्टली मार्केट में क्या शुरू है. बट येस, यू शुड ऑब्वियसली पिच अबाउट इट दैट यू ऑल्सो आर अवेयर अबाउट इट, बट यू डोंट नीड टू हाईलाइट, फोकस एंड प्रेशराइज्ड only on that particular category or maybe area, I would say.
Okay.
And even to add to it, many startup founder thinks, you need lot of, decorative, creative pitch decks. No, the content of the deck is very important rather than a very presentable deck sort of it. It should be presentable, it should be simple, but the content should be very well presented. There should be those slides which are generally needed by an investor in a one go should be there into your pitch deck, I would say, or maybe in your pitch. So pitch should be very small, crisp, precise.
What are those slides?
So I would say don't forget to mention about your team, the core team, about what problem statement you're trying to solve, what solution you have, what business model you have, what revenue you have, and who are your competitors. Everybody who comes sometime, many a times, specifically, no offense, but the younger generation, when they come to pitch, they think, ऐसा तो किसने किया ही नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. There are either a direct and indirect competitors, and please speak about them. Please tell your investors, or else at least say to it, or maybe you can highlight it how you are different from them. But there are competitors, and don't hide that particular slide. Do include that into your pitch. That would, I would say that. Yeah.
As Dhirubhai Ambani says, idea is nobody's monopoly.
Correct. Very true.
So nobody's. ये मैंने ही किया है.
Correct.
It's not like that.
Yes. Even it is said, one idea at a time comes in 7 different brains. So.
Yeah. So, what are the early red flags you normally see in startups approaching to you?
Many a times what we've seen is when you're at a very early stage of ideation MVP, don't rush for funding.
Okay.
be focused. I mean, obviously funding is needed, but there are a lot of different options available into it. So we would suggest, many a time startup founders are not prepared with their business models. So we or maybe from our experience, we suggest please have your business model ready with you. That gives you a better idea, better
Right.
clarity what you're going to achieve within next 3 years. Maybe not 5 years, but at least for 3 years you should have a
Yes.
plan. You should know your cash flows well. If you have maintained this, if you have actually put this on your paper, your MIS are clear from day one itself, you would be in a better position to convince your investors also. And if you stick to those particular thing, probably you will achieve what you want to achieve.
Okay. How do you describe the current funding environment for the startups?
So, I mean, everybody listening to this know there are different types of, funding available or potential investors are there. So, when it comes to VCs, micro VCs and all, so mostly your numbers are going to matter them a lot. And when it comes to an angel investors, family offices, yes, obviously, though your numbers are going to matter a lot, it all depends upon what your exactly problem statements you are trying to solve. So current funding scenario is the same thing. Investors are looking for fresh ideas,
Okay.
fresh solutions to the problems. How you're utilizing the technology coming to it. Just saying my startup has an AI associated to it doesn't make what exactly actually you're making change into it.
They are not using AI properly.
Exactly. So it depends. Investors are interested. Just making the statement doesn't make sense. You need to actually prove it to an investor, and it all depends upon that. So current scenario, investors are actually looking for what genuine problem you're trying to solve, what impact it is going to give to the industry, whichever sector it is. So what impact it is going to bring to the industry, what solution you're bringing on the table. Does this solution already exist into the market? If no, then different what is the differentiation point of it, and the entire angle is to it. Now even every investor has their own thesis, but still investors are right now also open for fresh ideas, even though it doesn't directly fit to their thesis.
So actually investors स्टार्टअप में क्या देखते हैं पिच के अलावा?
टीम
ही सिर्फ
team and their obviously idea,
Founder.
founding team, and basically what problem they are trying to solve,
और
what innovation they have made.
फाउंडर में एक्चुअली कितने फाउंडर्स टीम रहती है यूजुअली?
See, now usually it is okay if you're a single founder, it is okay if you're a 3-4 founders as well. Basically you need to convince an investor how your roles are divided, who is taking what care, who is bringing what into that particular startup to
Okay.
grow as well. So if there are 5 people, so it's like too many cooks spoil the broth. And yeah, so
Okay, and what founders misjudge or misinterpret the funding process?
okay, so most of the time what happens is when an startup is going for an funding and they have an interaction with the investors, they think bas abhi I pitched him within next 5-10 minutes,
Mil
they should fund me, they should give me money. No, it doesn't happen that way. There is a lot of technical due diligence happening. Whatever you have said into your pitch is been going to get validated, cross-checked. Then there's a financial due diligence happening. There is legal due diligence happening. And everything from all parameters, if you fit to that particular thing, investors would be interested into having that particular thing. It
So,
also depends upon what investors are
how much
looking.
time it requires generally?
Usually when it comes to VCs or micro VCs, is almost takes 4 to 6 months to get actual funding, because the entire process is long. When it comes to an angel investors, provided this step reduces, and it mostly you can get this funding within 1 or 2 months as well.
1 and 2.
Maybe 60 to 90 days you can consider.
Okay, so ये misjudgment due to the Shark Tank and other things?
Yeah, maybe because people see to it such kind of shows and then they think that everything can be happen in a minute. So this doesn't. Because you don't know the backstory about it, the due diligence part and other things. Probably those things would have already been taken care and presented. So when
Right.
it comes to a real life, it is not like nobody's going to give you
Nobody's.
money in that easy way.
Yeah, it's a
ba-
hardcore. They are hardcore on money. So
Yeah.
how can they give you
Even
just
a
on the
father,
idea?
correct, even a father giving a money to his teenage son, today also thinks twice and asks 10 different questions why you need it,
Right.
right? So ye to
So how should founders approach investors in a realistic way in terms of their valuation and expectations?
okay. So now your your how realistic your valuation is. It all depends upon how you have made your business model.
Okay.
How you're showcasing it, how you're projecting it, what validations you have in your hands, what orders suppose you have. So you have, let's take an example. If you have mentioned right now within next 3-4 years, I am expecting this kind of revenue. So you have anything in your hand as a purchase order sort of thing, or maybe some documentation related to it, some orders related to it. You have huge clients in whom you're in talks with, and you have some written soft commitments from them. It all depends upon that, and then it goes how you're showcasing your revenue, and then it comes to how you're valuing your company.
So in Arthain, how typically you support startups or founders? Like you earlier mentioned about the student startups also. So how do you help them to get the funds, or what is your process typically?
Okay, so
How
when
do you work with them?
so how we deal with startups? So basically, first we interact with different startup founders. We validate ourselves, their ideas. We ask them different questions. So basically, we evaluate them as if I am an investor and
Okay.
we would like to invest into them. So we evaluate them as an analyst sort of thing. And if we think to it that yes, this particular idea is fitting to those investors who are our pool and it matches to their thesis, we can help them in terms of fundraising. Before that, we follow a due diligence sort of process, which is, you cannot say a typical due diligence, but a background verification sort of it, for which we have different parameters associated to it, the legal part of it, whether the compliance are in place. So
Okay.
the compliance is very important part when it comes to funding. So a lot of startup founders see to it that it's been okay, but the genuinity is very important. And if your entire compliance are in place, it see to is that yes, you are into your business, you are maintaining your books of accounts correctly. So that genuinely matters.
What are the steps till after that?
Yeah, so once basically this entire process goes ahead, we map a right investors for them and we schedule meetings with the appropriate investors,
Okay.
and that entire journey of fundraising starts. And then it typically takes, as I mentioned, if we are pitching to an angel investors, there is a different timeline. When it comes to micro VCs, family offices, there's a different timeline
Achha.
for them to get funding.
What is the difference between VC and family offices?
Okay, so when it comes to VCs, it's a venture capitalist firm where are different individuals associated to it. They bring a fund and they fund to an entity. It's a family offices. It's like a family. They are a group of individuals within the same particular family, as I can say, and they fund it to a startup. So
Okay,
it's as good
combinedly.
as combined. So as good as an angel investor is an individual person, and when it comes to family office, it is a group of people running one entity to fund, termed as a family office.
Okay, so they work like VC only.
Yes, but they are not a SEBI registered
Okay.
entities. So it depends how you have registered it particular thing.
Okay. So family funding is also registered.
It's not a registered entity.
Okay.
It doesn't come under the SEBI Act. So it is as good as
Okay.
angel investor funding.
Okay.
But a group of people coming together under one roof, and you can give it to it.
So, and how do you connect startups with investors? You evaluate
Yes,
initially,
we
but
evaluate initially. We have pool of funds who are associated with us.
then you pitch with investor, or
Yes, so we source deals to them. We discuss our deals with our investors, and when we find it that this investor says us, yes, we are interested into interacting with this startup founder, this is sounding interesting, we share them some kind of proposals, a brief note before we discuss, and when they found this interesting, we definitely set up the calls with them.
so usually it's on online calls only.
Yes, virtual. Initially,
Virtual.
virtual meetings happens. When it comes to a second, third round of investments, then in-person meeting happens. Investors visit the office of the startup founders,
Right.
or they call sometimes the startup founders. So it all depends upon what kind of startup it is. When it generally is to a product-based startups, investors do visit their factory sites as well.
So what is the role of mentorship in this journey?
So there are different VC funds who are connected with us. The managing partners of different VC funds are associated with us, and they act like a mentor for the startups. So mentorship is related to there are a lot of startup founders who need guidance at different stage. Someone needs guidance related to how they should design their revenue model, or they need a validation on their revenue model, which will help them scaling. Some requires guidance on their marketing strategy, what kind of marketing strategy they can use to scale up their entity. Sometimes some startup founders also requires the validation of their product as well, because maybe there are similar products already into the market, and there are a lot of competition already associated related to the sector in which they are working. Then how they should beat this competition, what angle they should apply at this stage, how they should use their funds if they are a bootstrap as an entity. So all these things also matter.
Okay, and how do you bridge the gap between the startup expectations and investor expectations?
Okay, so it is now there. Most of the time, it happens that there are different startup founders. Sometimes there's a lead investor coming into the picture, and there's a bridge grab. So as I mentioned, we have our own syndicate fund, and if the structure is so, and there's a lead investors from our pool who is investing into it, then we see to it that we as an Arthan Ventures also evaluate it and source them some kind of funding from our side as well. But it all depends upon how the structure is and case to case basis.
Arthan, you do funding on your own also?
Yes. So through Arthan Ventures, we also invest into entities.
Achha.
Our majorly focus is into MSME sector.
Okay.
So those entities who are generally into manufacturing something, have their business since past 4 to 5 years, have achieved certain growth, are at a profitable stage, and they are now within next 2 to 3 years or maybe 4 to 5 years planning for SME IPOs. These are the entities we are focusing from our side in terms of putting funds to.
Okay. And about the founders, have you observed any common or differentiator factors between the founders who have had a good long-term success, or who had raised the big funds? Any differentiating factors that are common in those founders?
Yes. So I would say those startup founders who has that sector knowledge in depth, and they are actually working on a same particular startup. Those startup founders are eventually become successful. So let's take an example, sort of if you are developing some kind of a tech startup,
Okay.
and founder himself is hiring somebody to work on that particular tech part. So dependency, and you're already burning cost on people to make that particular tech. So it doesn't make sense if you should have the core knowledge of the business which you are doing. So accordingly, you should form a team. So the co-founders should go hand, their vision and their skills should go hand in hand to become a successful. So I've seen those startup founders who have become successful, they have 2-3 co-founders, their roles are very well divided. Each startup founder has their own skill sets, and they are focusing on that area. Other founder is focusing on his own area, and combining, they are building a great entity.
Okay. You talked about MSME. So currently, any MSME means in regular business or industry have approached you for the funding requirements, and do the investors are also interested into it?
Basically, maybe I would say when typical micro VCs comes to it, they have a different thesis built to the type of funding they do. We at Arthan Ventures have built this thesis. Maybe we are just a 2 years old fund and we are also evolving as time goes. But right now we have made this thesis, and our focus majorly is into this particular category of entities who are into this sector, and now they have achieved certain growth. They have already completed their bank limits sort of thing of funding, and now they still want to grow, expand their business. So we are there to put funds to and evaluate them in terms of funding.
Okay, but traditional SMEs are also approaching you?
Yes, we are open to also evaluate
and,
them as well.
What is the percentage of startup versus traditional SMEs?
In terms of approaching to us,
Yeah.
Obviously the startups are more. So you can say it is 80-20.
80-20.
80% of the startups, 20% of the
Traditional SMEs.
traditional business.
But according to you, what the traditional SMEs are lacking in against startup?
See, basically it is there is as such no innovation sort of thing. They already have their own business. They're
Right.
already doing in past 3-4 years. They are doing it. They are achieving it. They are at a profitable stage, or maybe they already have achieved their break even. They already have a lot of debt associated to it. Probably most of the SME have debt associated. So all these parameters are there. Why they want to expand and why they need funds needs to be evaluated, and then it makes sense
Okay.
for us, and it all depends upon that.
And not about Arthan Syndicate, but how the angel investors are looking or the VCs are looking towards the traditional SMEs. Are they really interested, or they say, no, yaar, not this?
No,
They are not interested.
majorly no. See, when it comes to angel investors, I cannot directly here say on a public platform.
Okay.
No, it all depends upon the individual to
Individual
individual.
again.
Yes.
Right. What makes the traditional MSME investment ready? What we can do?
Basically, see, making investment ready, for my question would be, do they need investment?
Okay.
Because they already are doing business. They already have achieved certain growth. They may not be profitable, but they are revenue generating entities. So it all depends upon why they need funds, and then why they need equity funding. Why not debt? So is there anything they already have taken 10 different debt, or maybe bank loans or other kind of debt funding from the market, and still they are not achieving something? So why they need funds is the main question.
Currently, I'm seeing many of the clients or many of the companies are also coming in SME IPO.
Correct.
Coming up with SME IPOs. So they are also interested in some or somewhat may to raise the funds from the stock exchange. So
Yes.
that's what I want to know, that are they really interested in investor point of view also?
So basically what happens, it's just been last three years, there's a different market and SME section is there. So SME IPOs are coming to it, and the main criteria associated to it that the entity should be past 3 years should be it should be a profitable entity. So this is a major criteria associated. Then only you can apply to this particular things and thing takes place. So now if they want to expand, so they are already profitable, they want to expand, and they've already done with their debt funding sort of thing, and for their expansion sort of thing they need funding, and so they are approaching to such kind of funds. Then an investor is interested into it. But when it comes to typical SMEs, MSMEs coming into it and taking equity funding, the you can say it is happening. Yes, I'll not say it is not happening. The percentage wise
is very less.
Yeah, it's very less. And see, everybody needs funding. Idhar se udhar se kahin se funding milna is not a bad thing. Everybody approach to it, but as an investor, there is a different angle associated to it.
And which is the cheapest mode of getting funds? Investment or debt?
Debt. Cheapest, I would not say. I would say it's easy. You should go for debt. That's not a problem. But it all depends then upon what exactly an idea you have.
Okay.
What you are trying to build. Because even through when it comes to bank and all, every sector and every category is not being funded. But now, there are different startup. So DBS Bank is there, who specifically focus. HDFC Banks is there. They have their own startup funding units as well. So they fund to different startups, or maybe they have different facilities to it. The rate of interest are different. So accordingly, they can approach such kind of banks.
You worked with many investors also. So from investors' perspective, what are the key points in early stages where they feel excited?
At early stage, as I mentioned already, it's all about what problem they are trying to solve. And its idea. Basically, I would say, and what solution they are bringing to this problem. So now if somebody comes and they want to replicate a model of Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, all those things, then still what innovation you are bringing into that particular thing. Replicating model now will not work because there are already players into it. But then what new thing you are bringing into it? Yeah.
And what are the risk factors they identify? कि नहीं भाई ये risky, ये रहेगा तो ये risky है.
So it depends from sector to sector. Which sector the startup is, and he's at what stage, and what customer he is going to cater to. Who is going to be an ideal customer, and already how many players are into the market. So now when it comes to food industry or healthy product sort of thing, there are so many players. The market is so much cluttered. But still there are entities who are getting funded. Then why they are getting funded? The reason why they are getting funded, it is all about they're just trying to, burn it, do the marketing, get funding, get those scale up. But then it all depends upon how they are growing what revenue they are generating, how profitable they are.
Now about in some industry trends, as you are interacting with many startups, you have from many sectors, I think. So what are the changes you are observing in current Indian market through the startups?
Okay, so trends are being followed, yes, definitely. So what we see most of the time, there are 3-5 friends who are earning very well and they want to start a startup, but they don't have time, they don't have idea. Then they come together, they put funds, they take some franchisee of something and they start it and say, oh, we have started our own business, or we have a startup. So this is a trend going right now into the industry.
What is the definition of startup in terms of investor?
Yes. So basically startup is somebody who is trying to solve a problem which is already existing, but there's no great solution to it. They're bringing some good solution. There's some innovation happening, and they solved that problem in a very quick way, which is giving some value addition to the economy as well and to the people around us as well. These kind of people who are bringing some innovation actually are a startup.
So is there any currently specific segment or a sector where the investors are more attracted, saying yes, this is trending?
I would not say investors will follow more trend too, but investors are more interested into sustainability, climate oriented sectors, maybe tech associated to it, but then what kind of tech? Because right now tech is such a huge term that exactly. So every startup founder come up, we have associated tech to it. Just a SaaS platform doesn't make much sense to it. But yes, so how strongly you're applying that tech to what results it is giving to, what impact it is going to matter, then those sectors are investors are interested into. Healthcare is one sector investors are very much evaluating right now. So these 3-4 sectors are majorly focused.
So in health sector, with medicine or without medicine? Because currently without medicine trend is also increasing.
Yes, automation to it. So you can say there are a lot of tools coming into the market, maybe AI driven sort of thing, where you need, I mean, you just let's take let's take an example. Somebody is a lot of physio problems happening. So just you just need to stand in front of the screen. That particular entire scans your body and tell you whether you have a spasm affected. What kind of physio need you, what kind of physio sessions you need to take, whether there's a it's just a physical problem, or there is there's a bone related problem, or it's just a muscle related problem. Everything is automatically scanned, given you a report, and then you get a physiotherapy session from that particular thing. There's a Flexify Me app, startup who has already received funding from Shark Tank as well. They are Pune based entity. They have their this such kind of tech associated to it. There's one startup who we are also evaluating. They are into Ayurvedic sector through the Nadi Pariksha devices there.
Yeah.
So you just need to take the device, put it on your hand, and you know how Nadi Pariksha is done, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, these categories. So that is linked to your mobile. You get a report sort of thing, and accordingly you can plan your lifestyle. So these are things happening, and these are the startups we have seen, we have evaluated. I mean, the name I took here right now for the first startup is obviously because it's national television pe the name has been produced. Other startups which I evaluate, I cannot take the names, but I've just shared the ideas, what they are doing, and this is what is happening into the healthcare sector. So I've just related to the lifestyle, and so for every part. So there's even, we have seen one startup, they are actually they're at a very early stage, but they've got good validation sort of thing. This paralysis attack, stroke comes up, and there's some body part you are not able to operate and all. So they have ready-made those. So if there's some hand affected, so you can put that particular thing, those hand, and you can start operating. You can use that hand particular. So something related to it, people are working on that as well. So such kind of things are happening into the healthcare as well. And yes, obviously investors are interested into evaluating those things.
Okay. So
there's another sector evolving right now is property tech, legal tech. So these are the 2-3 sectors which are there are a lot of startups who are working into these particular sectors. We have evaluated these startups. Investors are interested into, probably related to the funding part. I would think once how things goes ahead, it would be seen into the market. But these are the very upcoming sectors where people are working very well. Obviously, these 2-3 sectors, it's been just 2-3 years. Right now, even out of India, the funding in these sectors has been happening. But even in India, investors are you can say evaluating taking it positively. And
how do you see the ecosystem evolving in next 5 years?
Yes, so ecosystem will grow. पैसे देने वाले भी चाहिए और पैसे लेने वाले भी चाहिए, और हर बार ऐसा ही होगा कि पैसे लेने वाले लोग बहुत होने वाले, देने वाले लिमिटेड होने वाले. This is a fact, and this is a fact since years. I mean, I'm not saying nothing new into this particular thing, but वो जो लेने वाले लोग हैं, उनको genuinely you will get funds if you genuinely are working on something which is going to bring some impact to the industry.
So your practical advice for the startup owners or the business owners or the traditional SMEs for the raising funds who are looking for raise the fund?
So I would say first be clear on the fact that why you need funds, why you need external funding, and I would say approach to investors in a better manner.
Okay.
Don't just do any kind of cold messages, cold calling to investors. This genuinely doesn't work. Now, I sitting here and saying I act as an ecosystem enabler, and that is the reason I'm making this statement. So no, that is not the only reason I'm making this statement.
Right.
As I mentioned, we do different fireside chats and ask me anything sessions. And this is a common question even asked by an investor, startup founder to an investor, how we should approach you. Because right now the investor is sitting in front of him. So he can ask anything because the session is planned accordingly. But yeah, even investors says approach in a better way. Because हर एक इन्वेस्टर का लिंक्डइन बॉस हजारों ईमेल से भरा पड़ा है उसके पास टाइम नहीं है इतने लोग देखने के लिए और यू नो सम टाइम इट गेट क्लिक्ड सो ट्राई टू जॉइन go to the networking meets, try to interact with investors in a better way or through better sources like ecosystem enablers are there. A lot of people who are doing very good work, obviously like Arthan, there are many people who are doing good work. Go and approach with them, get connected with good people who are actually working into the ecosystem. That would be the right way rather than just randomly approaching to any investors.
Okay, do you want to share some story which you liked it funny or very interesting, which you would like to share with us about the startup funding?
Sure. So there are a lot of young startup founders who are coming. So I have seen two categories of those young entrepreneurs, mono-B entrepreneurs, I can say, who are in the age group of 21 to 25, 26. Okay. So there was some very great guys, I would say. Guys in the sense girls and boys, no gender specific. So they were very nice. They're very clear on what they're doing, what they're building, what ideas they have. Very convincingly they were trying to pitch and I as an evaluator, keeping an evaluation part a bit aside, but I found it very interesting, promising ki how passionately they are doing this at this particular age. But sometimes there are some funny people also. All these, how they look at this particular thing, how they see LinkedIn, ki this is the couple, this is a young guy who raised so much funds and they come sit here and funding. So there's one guy, just an example, and this is a funny case study happened, funny case happened. He just came, he just pitched his idea. I want to start, I want to do a service industry. And I said, okay, fine. So what is your plan? No, there is no plan as such. I will take people, I will hire people and they will do work for me. I said, okay, fine. They will do work for me. What work you want that they should do for you? No, that I have in my mind that I will decide and I will going to explain them. So I said, okay, as a founder, what you will do? No, as a founder, I will sit, I will hire people and I will see to it how they are going to work. So this is like, so I actually felt like laughing, but then it is, we need to think on this, they think that a startup founder is a person who sits in an AC office in a chair and he don't needs to do anything. He just needs to hire people, take funds from somebody. So I even asked him, how are you going to pay them? No, I will take funds. Investors are going to give me money. So I will use them to hire people. So people think, so this is very going in a wrong direction how people are taking this particular thing. How young generation is taking to it. It doesn't work. Just
it's
एक AC office, exactly. एक AC office में एक chair में बैठ के आपको investors पैसे देंगे, दूसरे को hire करके काम करने के लिए, और वो क्या काम करना है वो आपको पता नहीं है, और you are not clear to it. So this thing should not happen. So what I would think that probably we as everybody who are working into this ecosystem, we can give better examples to these young generation because they have lot of energy, passion. They are very closely associated to technology also. They can adapt technology very well in a better way. But अगर उनको अच्छा path दिया तो I think they can succeed and we can get more number of entrepreneurs and very good entrepreneurs. But yes, this thing happens.
Okay. Thank you, Namrata, for coming and sharing your startup process, startup funding process with us. And I'm sure I will put your and Anirudh's LinkedIn profile link into our description also so that people can connect with you directly. And thank you very much. I hope many startup should get benefited with your services.
Definitely, sure. Thanks
and
a lot.
The industry should grow.
Yes, thanks for inviting
you.
Arthan as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we would definitely like to interact. The entire team of Arthan would like to interact with different startup founders.
Thank you.